I'd just like to welcome you to this first lesson on fractions, and this lesson is going to show you what the numbers in a fraction really mean. And you need to know this. And the reason why is because if you don't know what the numbers in the fraction actually mean, you're not going to really understand what you're doing with them when you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, and things like that. And really, the main thing that I've found with students that hate fractions is they really hate them because they don't really understand what the numbers in the fraction mean to start with. So let's get started. And these fractions, all of these fractions here, and there's really only two different fractions here, 1 over 2 or 1/2 and 2 over 3 2/3. And these are simple fractions, and a simple fraction is where the top number is less than the bottom number. So a fraction like 5 over 2, like this one, 5 over 2, that is not a simple fraction because the top number is more than the bottom number. So I'm not going to talk about these kind of fractions, which are called improper fractions. Just going to be simple fractions in this lesson. So what does the bottom number in a fraction mean or stand for? It really just tells you that whatever you're looking at, if you've got a half of something, the 2 tells you that the thing that you're looking at has been divided into 2 equal parts or 2 equal groups. And that's what's happened here with this shape. It's been divided into 2 equal parts. They're roughly equal. Whenever you're drawing things freehand, they don't have to be pinpoint precise as long as you've got the right idea. So 2 equal parts, and we'll pretend they're equal. And the top number is telling you that you're interested in one of those parts, and to show this, I've colored one of those parts in. So I've colored in 1 out of 2 equal parts in this shape, or 1/2. And the half part of the fraction is actually the 2. So the bottom number is always like the name of the fraction. So for example, in this one, 2/3, the 3 is the third. And once again, the 3 being on the bottom, that's telling you that this apple needs to be divided into 3 equal parts if you want to have 2/3 of it. And the 2 is telling you that 2 of those equal parts have been shaded in. So 2 out of 3 equal parts have been shaded in, or 2/3 have been shaded in. In this example here where I've got 6 coins, and I want to show 1/2 of the coins, so I've divided the coins into 2 equal groups. And equal groups means that there are an equal amount of things in each group. So there's 3 coins in each group, so the groups are equal in size. So 2 equal groups, and the 1 means I've shaded in one of those groups, and I've shaded in the coins in the group to show that. So 1 out of 2 equal groups has been shaded in, and 1/2 of the coins have been shaded in. Now, key point that I need to mention, the numbers in a fraction they're not meant to tell you, or they don't tell you how many things are in each group, except in a situation like this one here. So I've got 2 equal groups here. The 4 coins have been divided into 2 equal groups, and that's what this 2 on the bottom is telling you. So I've actually shaded in 1 out of 2 equal groups. So here's one group out of 2 equal groups. And as it happens, there's 2 in each group, and the number in the group 2 is not what this 2 is telling you. It just so happens that there's 2 in that group, and this is a 2 here also, but they're not actually related, those 2, in any way, other than the fact that there's 2 things here, and that's the number 2. So the 2 on the bottom here is clearly, or is supposed to be telling you, and means that there are 2 equal groups. So that's a key point that you really need to understand. So in this example here, 2/3 of these 6 crosses, the 3 on the bottom means divide the crosses into 3 equal groups, which I've done. Once again, an equal number of crosses in each group, 2 in each group, and that's not what this 2 is telling you. This 2 is telling you that you want 2 of those groups, and I've shaded in 2 of the groups like such, and so 2 out of 3 equal groups have been shaded in. So that's what the numbers in the fraction, in a simple fraction, mean. And there will be a downloadable exercise for you to do at the end of this lesson, and I'm going to show you how I want you to do that now. Okay, so the questions on the downloadable exercise will be like this one here. So how do you find 1/2 of a cake? And this is what I want you to say. Divide the cake into so many equal pieces or parts. So parts or pieces, doesn't matter which one. And so how many equal parts? And once again, go to the fraction and it's the bottom number here that tells you how many equal parts. So that would be 2 equal parts. And I'll just do this as I go. So here's my cake. It's a blue cake. 2 equal parts, line down the middle, or you could go a line across, or however you like, so that the 2 parts would be equal. And then what I want you to say is that each part is the fraction, which is 1/2 of the cake. So I'm going to shade in one of those parts and then point to it like this. And there's 1/2 of the cake shaded in. So when you do your sentences in the first exercise, the red words will be exactly the same, and you'll be just changing the blue words in this example to suit the question. I want you to do the questions exactly like this. If you do it exactly like this, you'll find that after a while you'll really start to understand fractions a whole heap better. Now I'm going to do one more example to show you how the 2 sentences that you need to write for groups, and I'll show you that one now. So this question, how do you find 1/3 of 6 crosses? Well, you'll divide the crosses into how many equal, well, because it's crosses this time, it's going to be 3. So that bottom number is always telling you how many groups or parts into 3 equal, and this time it's got to be groups because there's more than one thing. It's not a whole thing you're dividing this time. So divide the crosses into 3 equal groups, and once again each group is what fraction, and it's the same fraction up here, 1/3. Each group is 1/3 of the crosses. Now sometimes it can be a little tricky, or you might find it a bit tricky to actually figure out how many crosses go into the group. With a number like 6 crosses, not that hard to do. So sometimes the way of doing it is to actually draw your groups first, like this. So here's my 3 groups, 1, 2, 3, and then I've got to make sure there's the same number of crosses in each group. So that would mean, and you could do it like this. So just deal out the crosses like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's my crosses. Equal number of crosses in each group, 2 crosses in each group, and each group is 1/3 of the crosses. So what I want to do to show the 1/3 is just point to one of those groups and color it in with another color to show that it's been colored in, and there's my 1/3 of the crosses. Now I could have pointed to this group or that group, it wouldn't matter. Any of the groups is, or each group is 1/3 of the crosses. However, I just want you to point to one of the groups to show that you know what 1/3 of the crosses is. Alright, so that's how I want you to do the exercise that you're going to download. So download it now and then do the exercises. And if you'd like to leave a comment or a question beneath the video, please do so, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I will see you in the next lesson.